Hello everyone, this is Tripper, and today we're playing Chivalry Medieval Warfare. And on this fine day, I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to use something kind of weird, which is also amazingly potentially good. And that is what I am wielding now, the Thrusting Dagger and Heater Shield. Now, the shield to use has been debated, however, the buckler is smaller than the Heater Shield. So, and I don't think there's any speed difference generally in the weapon, or in bring up or shield recovery rate, so the shield doesn't really matter all that much. I prefer Heater, most people prefer Heater, so we're going to use it. Now, I'm going to show you guys just what's so great about this weapon. I showed you guys sort of a primer in the administrative video I put up a moment, whenever the hell I put it up. That's how awesome it is. It is, to my knowledge, the fastest stab with any weapon in the game. Okay, if anyone has a rebuttal to that, tell me. I would love to humor it, but to my knowledge and to many competitive people's knowledge, it is the fastest thing in the known universe. However, it can be countered. Just because it's fast doesn't mean it's good. However, again, it's so fast, it's insane. So this is going to be kind of an impromptu tactics. This isn't a single weapon, so I'm just going to give you guys what I can for it. And I do know a couple specific tactics. I've been using it offhand, off and on, for the past week or two. The combo, I mean. And it's just really, really fun. And it can be really effective. Especially if you're fighting people who aren't tailor-made to beat it. Like another dagger user. Other dagger users are quite hard to beat. Shit, I'm stammed. No, no, no. Other dagger users are quite hard to beat with this. Quick weapons will be the bane of your existence with this weapon. To beat this weapon, basically use quick weapons. Shit. Yep. But it can be extremely hard to deal with if you don't know what you're doing. Or even if you do know what you're doing. I've beaten some really great people with this thing. Like I said in the video I used this in, the administrative one, I've killed 2 people in a row in a scrim. I mean, I'm sorry, in a kendo phase of the scrim. So like 1v1 except one after the other. And that's kind of impressive to me. I'm usually not that good at kendo at all with man-at-arms. And I have used it in LTS scrims. However, it hasn't fared too well. Now, when the team is very cohesive in the LTS, it can do very, very well because you can jump in and out and just poke, 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 and just keep poking away. It's insane. The poke speed is just monstrous. Let me show you the comparison. This is with the shield. This is without the shield. The wind-up is probably twice the time. With the shield, no. It's just in and out. It's insane. It's crazily fast. And there are some specific things you want to do if you plan on using it. One of the things, use your shield, okay? You're a man-at-arms. You don't have to care about feints, okay? You can just dodge. So use your shield, right? I normally hate shields so much. But this combo is just too fun. Oh, shit. It's just too fun not to use. Now, that there was another weakness. If you rely on your momentum too much, you can get destroyed, because the man-at-arms is the only one that can pull this combo off. So, you need to own the momentum from the start of the duel. Okay? This is much easier with more squishy enemies, like man-at-arms and vanguards. Oh, noes. And if you have really bad shield play, you can get kind of screwed over. Die! Holy shit! Oh, man. Yeah, that was just bad. I didn't dodge. Could have dodged out of it. But again, you have to own the momentum. He was almost dead. You have to get them into a tempo where they are blocking and you're stabbing. They block, you stab. So you stab between their blocks. You can kill them almost instantly if they do that. So that is kind of the biggest thing with this weapon, is to own the tempo. Right? This guy just beat me because I let him have the tempo. Yeah, I let him have it. He dictated when to attack, not me. Right? And to do that, to own the tempo, is just basically to be the last one to have attacked and to have dealt damage. Alright, hey, Bambi, let's try again. So now this time I'm going to be really aggressive. Okay? Now as a man-at-arms, you can't be that aggressive. Have to be willing to trade a couple times. But in the end, if you add a dodge or two, then you can do it. You see, I held the tempo there, right? I owned it. I beat him because of it. Otherwise, if I had played even a moment defensively, he would have overtaken me. So this weapon has a lot of weaknesses, but it's really fun, and it's cool to just screw around with. So the biggest thing, try to take the momentum early, hold the tempo of the game in your hands, and use it. If you feel like you've lost the tempo, take a step back, regain your stamina, and just jump the fuck in. You can't protect yourself from RDMs, though. You cannot protect yourself from randoms. But I could have had him if I went straight up aggressive against him again. And it's kind of easy to do that if you're playing against maybe like sub-rank 40 players, because they don't really know how to circumvent a shield all that well. No offense, guys. I let him have the momentum. Oh, and he took advantage. Yeah, you see, if they have the momentum and you give them a moment, they have the potential to just wreck you because of it. And also, I might not be that good with this weapon as I think, but I'm not even going to consider it. So yeah, like I was saying, the biggest thing with this weapon is to own the tempo of the duel and to get your opponent to panic parry as much as possible, basically. So make a lot of sudden movements, jump a lot, get up in their business. Harder to do with a man-at-arms, because they're trying to do the exact same thing, and sometimes you can fall for it. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. The next thing is a specific tactic that I use a lot with this weapon, especially against knights, but it works equally against everyone, is to aim at your opponent's foot. Because it is so hard to see them and to predict that it's going to hit the foot. Right? I got a solid hit on his foot. It deals a minute amount of damage, okay? But it gets you the tempo, right? They see you hit their foot. They immediately block instinctively because they're like, oh shit, that should have hit some, like, they immediately block a second before or after you hit their foot because they're thinking, oh shit, he hit me somewhere. That's what the majority of people will do. So aim for the foot when in doubt. This will work against just about everyone without a shield. Just be careful with it. And people cannot escape the foot targeting. You wanna fight, bro? You wanna fight? All right. You see, I'm gonna show you how it's much better against knights. Even if they block it, they're just slower. And it's so great for flinching them. So, flinching, for those who don't know, is basically hitting someone during their windup and canceling their attack. And this weapon's great for it because it's so fast. A lot of weapons, you can stab people as they're beginning the strike just after noticing it instead of blocking. And you can stop it as well as deal damage at the same time. Okay, you want to fight? Okay, we are fighting. Shit, he blocked that. And it's so hard to kick man-at-arms shields with because of dodge. Oh, man, but he took it. He took the momentum. He was okay with a hit trade, and he killed me. So, careful with hit trades. Careful dealing with hit trades. pretty hard because your man-at-arms are pretty susceptible to them all the time. So yes, the foot stab, fabulous attack with the thrusting dagger shield. I use it against everyone. It's very effective against vanguards and knights. Less so against man-at-arms because it's so mobile. Oh, something I should just mention offhand. Doing your regular, like, accelerations with this thing are awesome to get around blocks. They're awesome. Like you saw me doing, I was like, whoosh. Whoosh. Meow. That's a great way to get around people's blocks because you're really fast and you're a man-at-arms. Alright, let's fight this guy. Oh, goodness, he's using a messer. The slower the weapon, the easier. And you need to face hug. I forgot to mention this. Face hug the fuck, okay, out of them. Just face hug them to death, as in get right up in their faces. And get them. Because then it's a lot harder to see the stab animation. It's really great. Oh yeah, don't, it's hard to feint with this weapon because the feint is limited to that. Anything farther, because the windup is almost nil, that's about as far as you can get. Okay? So I wouldn't try it. Unless you're feeling cool. What else? Oh yes! Should have mentioned this earlier. I keep talking about the stab. However, doesn't make any sense to do any other attack with it. With the dagger. Oh, nice. Usually it does not. Saw he beat me with a great accelerated overhead. He was fine with the trade. But usually it's not a good idea to do any other attack than the stab. And that's because the stab is really the only benefit for this weapon. The slash and the overhead are actually slightly slower than the other daggers. So it doesn't really make sense. And the stab is just the fastest thing ever. Right? Like I said in the beginning, I think it's the fastest attack in the game. And I'd be hard-pressed to say anything else is faster. I'm going to try to use a different attack against him. You see, it doesn't have the same speed. Unless you're going for something like an accelerated, like twirl or something. Oh god, nice. Unless you're going for an accelerated spin or a reverse overhead, which you can do with this thing. It's insane. I'll show you it. Unless you're doing one of those, it's really not a good idea to use an attack different from the stab. Here, I'll show you guys that. Oh, he blocked it that time. You see, it's just extremely quick. And overhead. The overhead is much harder to land. Obviously, the weapon's fucking tiny. Oh, there. You heard it. I'll do it again. He blocked it that time. Don't do that all the time. That gets you killed. And when I'm using this weapon, I really don't do either of those things very much at all. I don't go for rainbows because obviously they're really hard to hit. This thing is so tiny. The spins are much easier to make. Spins are much easier to make. Pretty easy, and they're really, really fast. However, I don't believe they do as much damage as the thrusts. I could be wrong. Check the spreadsheet. The damage spreadsheet to make sure. I'm almost certain the thrusts do more damage, but I could be wrong. I may post in the description the damage spreadsheet, just for your guys' notation. And as a closing note, this weapon is insanely cool. It's insanely fun to use. It's really fun to just screw around with. It's the only time I will have a shield in my presence. And I like it. It's fun. Its effectiveness is debatable. As is the effectiveness of the shield. Uh-oh. Nice. And you can get people who are stunned really, really quickly with it. So, all around, pretty damn good combo. I've used it in scrims before. I've used it in kendo before. And I've had some decent success. You might have some better success, obviously. However, you know, I find the Norse Unshielded is my best weapon as man-at-arms. But hey, some of you guys might find a new main with this. Alright, I don't know anybody that does it right now, but hey. You could be the first. Let's do. So, overview. What you want to do is take control of the tempo of the battle as soon as possible. You want to hold it for the whole battle. Sorry. You want to hold it for the whole battle, and you can defeat your opponent with that. Basically, with just the tempo, essentially. Try not to use strikes other than the stab, other than a spinning side swipe. The rainbows are hard to hit, and the other attacks are slower, generally, than the stab. Foot stabs are great for everyone. Man-at-arms slightly less useful against, but it's very, very nice to throw your opponent off. Feints, don't try them. Wind-up's too small. And I believe that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you learned something, like, favorite, subscribe to my glorious channel. Share it if you loved it. And I shall see you kind people later. As always, have a grand day. Tripper out.